This is the Torid Incarnon. I'm ranking it as the 6th strongest Incarnon Primary, under the Burston and above the Mitre. It's a true meta weapon, which means you can use it on literally any build and still survive no problem. The Incarnon form is a chain beam that matches the Torid's built-in toxin damage, making it one of the simplest weapons to build. The beam and the normal attack are both super effective, which made it hard to find a good spot for this on the tier list. This weapon has two main problems. Most Incarnons are hard to charge, but Torid charges from direct hits, not just headshots. But the bigger issue is that the first upgrade drastically reduces the 150 shots in the magazine. For the first upgrade, I chose Plentiful Mayhem because it's simpler than the other upgrade, but the big thing is that based on multi-shot, it divides the total charges by about 5 times. For the second utility upgrade, I chose Extended Volley for 9 bonus magazine capacity. The Torid's base form is probably the best base form, so it's good to try and buff it. And for the last and most important upgrade, I chose Commodore's Fortune for 20% crit chance. That's enough to get the Incarnon form to 120% crit chance. So there's a few big things to keep in mind with the build. Torid has built-in toxin damage, so you automatically save a mod slot. Plus the Incarnon beam is only 8 shots a second, so you kind of need to use point strike instead of critical delay. That leaves 3 open slots for bonus multi-shot and crit damage. We're still using Primary Merciless, which makes the beam basically one shot from a single damage tick. Then it's just the classic damage, multi-shot, cold for viral, and crit stats. Those 3 open slots are Hunter Munitions, Vigilante Armaments, and Hammer Shot, but that last one can be anything. The Torid is a pretty unique weapon because of the built-in toxin, so the Riven can be literally anything. Honestly, it's kind of a toss-up whether my Riven is actually good. With the multi-shot bonus, I have about 6 shots with the galvanized stacks active, which means I only have a few seconds of the beam weapon. So the Warframe synergies for the Torid are a little bit different because the Torid switches forms about every 10 seconds, which will definitely change the playstyle. The first frame and the model for the weapon was Protea. She's basically just a buff and shield frame that also has Blaze Artillery for DPS. At a certain point, stacking damage is only so effective, but it makes both forms able to easily map wipe. Blaze Artillery is also really useful for the high stress situations when you discharge the Incarnon. And for the other frame, I chose Inaros, who's the first example of true grouping-based crowd control. He's a classic tank, so you still have Arcane Avenger for damage, but the build is literally just max range negative strength build that uses Coil Horizon for a 30-meter vortex. It almost doubles the effective time of the Incarnon. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the Torid Incarnon in the comments. As always, thanks for liking and subscribing, and come say hi when I'm streaming.